Hello everybody, it's JTSREVIEWSUK here, and today I'm going to be reviewing is BISSELL, I don't know how you pronounce it, cordless Hoover. Now, I got this a while back for around about £100, and after about a year I think it's about time I did a review on it because, well, I've used it for a year. I can show you the goods, the bads, etc. What you get in the box is this Hoover right here. You get the battery and you get the charger, which is very good and handy because one thing another Hoover I've got, the Bell Dre, doesn't do is charge the battery off site, and with the BISSELL whatever Hoover, you can actually charge it on the socket on your work surface without bringing the whole unit with it. The battery easily comes out by unclipping this bit here and taking out the battery. And this is the size of that battery. It's pretty big in my opinion, very hefty. The weight of the machine is not that heavy as you think. It's actually quite light for a unit like this. You expect it to be much heavier, but it's actually medium sort of weight. It's not like hugely weighty, if you know what I mean. Anyway, let me show you what you get. Obviously with this, you get a normal size head right here. This is the brush head right here. It's on the belt, and yeah, the bristles do get quite mucky quite often. I don't know the full capacity of this, but it is a very big capacity in my opinion. Very good. To empty the bin, it's very simple. There's a little button on the top here. You press it, and there's the bin. Very simple. One thing is a little bit tricky is that you have to press the button to put it in. You can't just put it in to the bit it's supposed to go. On the top of the unit, you've got some settings. You've got the on button, you've got the plus and minus for less power and the powerfulest setting it goes up to, and you also have another button up here where you can turn off the swivel brush that spins. You can turn that off or on as much as you want. Say you're going over tile floor or something, or some delicate floor, and you don't want to use the spindle thing on the bottom. You just press the button here and it'll stop. It obviously has a nozzle on the back, but I've never really used it that much at all, as it's very hard to get off. There we are. So that's the nozzle right here. You have to put like an attachment on, and to use it you have to like turn this knob to the left to get it to work through the hose. As you saw in the preview, that's the noise of the unit. It's quite quiet considering that it's a Hoover. One great thing about this unit the most though is it swivels, which means you can go under and swivel around and all that sort of stuff. It has got rubber tyres right here and right here on the actual unit itself. I'm obviously going to put some close-ups, as you just saw on the screen, of what the buttons are and what the wheels look like, because at the moment in time this angle is not a very good angle, as you know. The filter itself is kind of easy to clean, although I would recommend put it in the washing machine because it works a bit better that way than you cleaning it. Just take out the bin like that, untwist it like that, and there is your washable filter that needs cleaning, which will be cleaned very soon. And obviously you can lift off the bin handle here to the actual cyclone thing, and you know, easily get the dirt out and put it into the bin itself. Very simple. The washable filter does get mucky, so it is recommended to do it every month, in my opinion. So obviously you do get a charger with it, but it is very bare bones and very basic. The way you charge it is very simple. You take off this cover here, take the battery out, and then what you do is you line it up with the connectors, put it in, plug it into the wall, and a red light will come up. When it goes green, it's done. Simple as, really. It's a very, very basic charger. Right, let's go with some of the cons, shall we? The first one is the battery itself is not cheap to replace. So if these go wrong, you're expecting another £110 to replace the battery. These batteries right here that are not really worth that amount of money. Another problem I see is you only get one battery with it, so if you want another battery, expect another 110 quid out of your bank. So you might as well just get a much more substantial Hoover than this. Although it is a very nice Hoover and it does work just as good as the Vax did. One other con is sometimes the battery is not very snug, so you do have some problems every so often putting the battery in, and it can be a bit irritating. Another con is now and again, before the bin gets full, the suction slows down. So now and again you have to detach this and make sure nothing's blocked, because this is a very small chamber and it can easily get stuck with all sorts of debris and stuff. You can extend that arm with the arm release thing. You can put it up, I think. No, it just takes the wand out. I thought it adjusts, but obviously it doesn't adjust. So no, it doesn't adjust. It actually does that. So we have found out before you what it does. So I don't understand why it has two parts. It has this part and then it has this part. I don't get it. Why does it has two? Ask Basil, I haven't got a clue. The model is 1538A. Now I've realised what it is. According to this, it's 170 watt, 36 VDC, and that's all I really know. Yeah, another thing that could be fiddly is if you want to use the pipe thing, which I don't. I use the bell tray every so often. I have a bell tray stick vac, and I might review that soon, but I use that to do the sides. And the bits this doesn't touch, because getting this out is a nightmare. You have to turn this knob here, and then you've got to release this, and then get the right attachment that they probably give you. They do give you attachments, I think, so I will give them credit, but this is a lot of work just for this to work with small jobs. And this thing, with it, obviously another con is, you know, this is not very long. So with the bell tray I have cordless and no problems with dragging a Hoover across like this, like I did with the Vax. The Vax had that problem too. You can take off this part here, this rotary brush bit here, so you can clean out the unit. Obviously I haven't cleaned it. It does have like two little filters here, but unfortunately you can't detach them, so when they get stuck, good luck with that one. It does have rubber things on the front here that have actually gone funny over time, so build quality is not 100% with this, as per usual. What's the feel like? Cheap, but hard, cheap plastic, if you know what I mean. A very hard plastic material. It feels hard, which is good. The hose itself is see-through in a way, so you can see if it's jammed, which is one good thing I say about this Hoover, is if it's jammed, it's very easy to attain. You can see what is stuck in what bit. Obviously the pipe does detach as well, right here. So there you go. Now, will I recommend this cordless Hoover? Maybe, because as much as it's good at its job, it also has problems with getting stuck with debris, and when you're hoovering halfway through, you hear a weird sound coming from the actual Hoover because it's all got stuck with fluff or something. Another disadvantage obviously is the battery unit. Why the hell are they charging 110 quid for a spare part like that? You ask Bristol or Basil this. I mean, I guess it's the Razor brand where everyone has to overcharge each other for spare parts, I guess. You can't be like, get a Razor for cheap now and get cheap blades for it anymore. It has to be, you get the Razor cheap and then they sell you the cartridges. That's how they get you. But apart from that, not a bad little unit. How does the battery fare up? Well, the battery is actually really good. I managed to get 3 days of cleaning out of this thing, and the battery is probably about 1/4 full. It's a big battery pack, so I don't think you would need a spare battery. But if you do for a bigger house, because I live in obviously a flat, you need obviously a better battery than this. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll give this a 6 out of 10 because now and again it can have its flaws. I would obviously give anything that's Dyson probably a 2 out of 10 because it's crap, but this thing does beat a Dyson in my opinion. It doesn't lie for a start about suction and shit, but yeah, anyway, that's another rant for another day. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you in the next one. Cheers.